Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Jordan Davis Podcast. I am your host, Jordan Davis, and on today's episode, I'll be talking about Adam Driver's comments on the redemption of Kylo Ren in The Rise of Skywalker. Also, I'll be talking about the official trailer of Wonder Woman 1984 that was released yesterday. But before I get into that, I want to thank everyone that has listened, comment, liked, subscribed to my podcast. And if you're new to this podcast, I give out Marvel, DC, all kinds of movies I talk about. So if you like that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you know more of my content when it's coming out. So let's get into Adam Driver's comments about Kylo Ren's redemption in The Rise of Skywalker. Now, when this came out, a lot of people was kind of uneasy what he had to say, and when wasn't sure how you know people wanted him to be redeemed. Those fans were kind of not sure how to react to it because what he said was, does he really need redemption? Why does he need redemption? And I thought was kind of interesting because I think what Adam Driver was trying to say as an actor, he is looking at it at his character's point of view. It's like he doesn't need redemption. He's done nothing wrong. And he's looking at that at from the point of view of Kylo Ren. And I still think that was very interesting because yes, in the character's mind, he hasn't done anything wrong. In the character's point of view, he has redeemed Darth Vader and becoming that supreme leader. And really, I start thinking about it. That's what one of the reasons this makes Kylo Ren so interesting because he thinks he's right. And no, I'm not saying like killing Han Solo, he did the right thing. No, he did not do the right thing. But I think that's kind of interesting that no matter what he does, he thinks it's the right thing. Now, when it comes to the Rise of Skywalker, I truly believe it's not just going to be because going to do the right thing because of redemption. I'm going to do the right thing because of forgiveness and all of that. No, he truly believes no matter what happens, what he does, it's because of the right thing. Kylo Ren in his mind doesn't matter if the audience thinks it's the right thing. Kylo Ren thinks it's the right thing to do. So I think whatever happens in this movie will be the things that he does. We will consider them as officially the right things to do. But Kylo Ren in his mind before this good things that he will do in the Rise of Skywalker, he always believed he was doing the right thing. He always believed he was doing the good thing. And think that's just really interesting to really think about as a character. Because I was just thinking over this week about the Rise of Skywalker and how what's the things he's going to do. Because we always think about, okay, what is he going to turn? When is this kind of Ben Solo going to reappear? We're all trying to figure that out. And just Adam Driver saying he really doesn't need redemption. He doesn't really need rebirth. Now, he will get redemption. He will be redeemed. But as we're talking about through the point of view of the character, that believing he has not done anything wrong, he has always done the right thing. But I think as the story starts to reveal itself and showing that he is changing, and I just think that it's very interesting how Adam Driver looked at it at the character's point of view, and that's just another reason why he's just such a great actor in how he really understands the character more than anyone else. I mean, you could give all the analysts and deep thinking that you want about Kylo Ren, and that's fine. But there is no one that knows the character more than Adam Driver, and he is showing that through the years that he has played it, and how he talks about Kylo Ren, Ben Solo. And so, like I'm saying, I think it was just an interesting take that he and how he said that. And I don't think you should get like all concerned that, oh, since Adam Driver said he doesn't need redemption, that doesn't mean Kylo Ren is not going to get redemption and live. I, it's just something to think about, that it doesn't matter what Kylo Ren does, he always thinks it's the right thing to do in his mind in every situation. He believed it was the right thing to kill Snoke. At the very moment when he killed Han Solo, he believed it was the right thing, but showing him that it really didn't. And I believe in the Rise of Skywalker, he's gonna make the right decision that will really start to change. It will really start to have a rebirth of him. And I think that rebirth is really gonna manifest after the big fight between him and Rey on the Death Star wreckage. I don't know where that is a part of the movie. I think that could be towards the end of the second act, because we can actually be getting a whole act of redeem Ben Solo, or rebirth, reborn, however you want to put it. That's what we're going to get. And because if you just think about the connection of Rey and Ben and how they have been promoting it through this movie, it looks like to me, when we start off this film, they were how they were in The Last Jedi. But more we get into the story and more we get into the movie, Rey gets further into the darkness, as well as Ben gets further into the light. So if we don't have that perfect balance between them, it's gonna go the reverse. Ben's on light, Rey's on darkness, and we can't have that. That's not what the Force wants. The Force wants its balance. The Force needs its balance. And so I think as the movie progresses to the third act, even towards the end of the movie, I think we're going to get that balance. We're gonna get that balance of Rey and Ben together, facing the ultimate evil of Palpatine. And however that happens, um, it should be something special, because from everything I've seen in the marketing and interviews, I still don't believe we've seen the third act. I think we've seen very limited of the third act, and of what this big fight, how it's going to conclude with how they end the arc of Kylo Ren, how they end the arc of Rey, and all these characters and all of that. And I also been seeing a lot of complaining about how making Rey, Finn, and Poe the so-called trio of the sequel trilogy. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe Poe is a major character, because he was supposed to die in the first movie. I don't see him as a major character that you make around a trilogy. I think he's kind of like a Lando. I believe he is a supporting character. I think the trio is about um, Rey, Ben, and Finn. Because I've always said this: in The Force Awakens, you know who your trio is by the people who are masked and it revealed and took off their mask. Rey took off her mask, Ben took off his mask, and Finn took off his mask. That's how you know your trilogy. Those are the people you are following immediately. You know who you're following. You know who these characters are and who the characters you are following in this trilogy. Those are your trio characters. Those are going to be your most famous characters in this trilogy. So I never really believed that Poe, Finn, and Rey was the sequel trilogy trio, like how in the original trilogy it was Han, Luke, and Leia. So I just thought it's been really funny that they have been really promoting them as the big trio, when I don't I don't believe that, because I don't even believe the movie is about them. No, I believe that maybe the first act you get a lot of Rey, Finn, and Poe, but that's quickly gonna go away with concentrating on Rey and Ben. So yeah, I just think that's kind of funny how they've been marketing. And to be honest, I see what they're doing because you can't really promote Ben with the Resistance. You can't you can't have uh Ben with Rey and Infinia. You just can't. And maybe they'll reveal that towards the end of the movie. But yeah. So yeah, I think it's really getting close to the rise of Skywalker, so that's getting really exciting. And you're just getting more interviews, more quotes from the actors that are getting exciting with talking about Rey and Ben's connection um, through the Force and through and romantically and all of that. So that is getting really exciting. So, and I just want to point out that next week I'm going to be doing a prediction episode for The Rise of Skywalker. I'm I'm going to put my final prediction. I'm going to say what I have to say about The Rise of Skywalker and what I think might happen and what could actually happen and how Kylo and Ben Solo's arc is going to end. How are the relationships going to end? How's this whole saga going to end? I'm finally going to give my official predictions, and the week after that, I will give you my reaction to the movie. And so, yeah, so get ready for my prediction episode next week, so you can get all of that. And I'm pretty excited about it. So make sure you listen to that next week, and I'll give you my full prediction about the rise of Skywalker. So let's get into that Wonder Woman trailer. So my history with Wonder Woman from the first movie that came out, I really liked it. I did not like the third act because it felt like it turned into a Zack Snyder third act. And I think I've said this before on the podcast that the first two acts are just so good. It did not live up. The third act did not live up to the last two acts of the movie. You know what I'm saying? With the villain and everything, it felt like a CGI kind of mess. It felt like Batman v Superman, but less messy. And now what I mean by Batman v Super, I mean about the Doomsday villain and how it compared to the villain of Wonder Woman, Ares. It just felt too CGI to me, and I did not feel a connection to the villain. And at the time, Spider-Man: Homecoming came out in the same year, and the connection between Spider-Man and the villain was just so much better, and it just made the third act so much better than Wonder Woman. Now, for what I can tell from Wonder Woman 1984 for the villain, looks like it's being Cheetah, and I'm seeing more a connection. They're making more connection to Diana and Cheetah, and it looks like we're gonna have more of a emotion, more of an investment into that relationship between them two, which I think I could get behind. I think that it can make that dynamic much better because I just think you really have to have a connection between the hero and the villain to really make a third act really good because it's hard to put an actual emotion and care about a villain being defeated that it's just CGI, that it's just there so the hero can beat up and be victorious. And you can't really get attached to that, to be honest. Um, and it looks like they're going to do a lot better job with the villain in this one. Now I have to say, in this trailer, in the Wonder Woman trailer, Wonder Woman looks fantastic. Oh, I, Wonder Woman, Diana, everything how they made her look fantastic, beautiful, gorgeous, however you want to put it. She looked great. Wonder Woman showing off her powers in this trailer were just wonderful, and I really like the 1980s vibe they got going on here. The style, the music, the tone, everything. Because when I first thought about a Wonder Woman sequel, I thought they would do it in kind of a put it after Justice League and really put it in modern times, kind of like what they did with Captain America: Winter Soldier. Uh, because they're those stories are very similar. Those characters are very similar in the comic books. Uh, Reacting to modern times and how they're kind of dealing with everything. And so I thought they would do that. And eventually they are going to do that with Wonder Woman in the future. And I thought they would do that sooner than later. But from what I'm seeing from the trailer, I love what they're doing right now. I love the story they're possibly telling between Diana and Cheetah and bring it back Chris Pine. I didn't know how that would happen, but I am intrigued of seeing Steve Trevor and that relationship between Diana and how they brought back Steve Trevor. And I'm very interested in if it's a good logical way for the story. So, and obviously, I love Chris Pine in the first Wonder Woman movie. I think their dynamic was just so good. The chemistry was so good. So, I'm very interested to see what happens. Now, do how do I think this Wonder Woman movie will impact um the DCEU? I don't know. I really don't know. It could now we can be jumping back and forth in flashbacks. So I mean, we can start the movie in modern time, and we can do the same thing we did in the first Wonder Woman movie. This movie can be a total flashback again, or they're going to cherry pick some scenes that are in modern times, but the rest of the movie is in 1984. And so, yeah, I think that's very interesting if they go that way. I mean, from everything I saw in that trailer, I'm on board. I mean, I really am. It looks like they're gonna give us a much better Wonder Woman movie. I just love the color, love the pop of the outfit of Wonder Woman. Everything that they showed to me, I'm loving everything. Um, and so if you were gonna ask me, are you gonna see this for the first day? Yeah, I'm going to see this first day. Um, this got me very interested. Got me more interested than Black Widow, even though I'm interested into that movie. I'm just not gonna see that like well, I'm gonna need another trailer for Black Widow to tell me if I'm gonna go there opening weekend. But this trailer right here, I don't need another trailer. I really don't. Seeing this trailer, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be there opening weekend. Most definitely. That trailer did its job. It got me invested. And I really hope they pull through because this can be a really big movie. Because the Wonder Woman movie was already big. I think it hit like past 800 million. I think the sequel, Wonder Woman 1984, is probably gonna hit a billion. Probably will. And so I really hope that DC gives us a good movie and it gives us a complete 1, 2, 3 act movie. So yeah, I'm really excited what Wonder Woman has for us in 2020. So I think that's gonna be it for the podcast. I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for always liking and commenting. But before I leave, I want to know, what do you think about the Wonder Woman trailer? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Are you really excited for the Wonder Woman movie? And and also on the Kylo Ren comments from Adam Driver. Did you understand what he meant about the character? And do you still believe he's going to be redeemed? So I would love your comments. I would love your feedback on what you think about these topics that I talked about today. And I can't wait to get your feedback. And so with that, I will be signing off. I want to thank you for all for listening. And until next time, see you later. Bye.